Welcome to Norwood News. Today is Friday, October 13th, and I'm your host, Kristen McDonald. It is great to have you with us as we end another week here in Norwood. This week on Norwood News, the Norwood Fire Department holds an important event to raise awareness. Ron Marshalsea recaps all the sports action, but first, the Friends of Norwood Center are happy to announce the third annual Fall Crawl is back this November. Jack McCarthy caught up with President of Friends of Norwood Center, John Carbone, to get all the details.
But now, we are just treasured to be joined with John Carbone, who's the president of the Friends of Norwood Center. And did I say that right? From the Friends of Norwood Center?
You did,
right? Okay,
yeah.
Very good. So, if you can see from his shirt what we're here to talk about. So, tell us about the Fall Crawl.
Yes, the Fall Crawl. So, as you can tell from the shirt, I found it from last year. We do a pub crawl in the fall. It's our third annual pub crawl. We've done two other ones. Castle Island, Adam and his team are instrumental in putting this on with us. They get the shirts done for us, they do the graphics. I can't say enough good things about Castle Island Brewery, and Adam and his team are very, very helpful. But the Fall Crawl is how the Friends of Norwood Center generates funds to basically stay afloat. We do have a website that went live this year, so money to support the website. We also are looking for a downtown manager. Ours left, she did great work, but we're looking for a new one. So we need proceeds, we need money to pay for those things. That's really why we have the Fall Crawl. A secondary benefit of the Fall Crawl for us is that it benefits the bars on an off night. So that's why we don't have it on a Thursday or Friday or a weekend. It's gonna be Wednesday, November 8th for the third one. And we go to Limey's, we start there. We usually go to Conrad's, Napper's, and then Lewis's. And then anything spent in the bars goes to them. And the tickets are $20 for the pub crawl.
And how do I get a ticket?
The easiest way would be to the Friends of Norwood Center Facebook page or our website, which is norwoodcenter.org.
Okay, $20. And how would Venmo? How would you pay for it?
PayPal, we take Venmo. I paid PayPal. I bought my own ticket. Yeah.
You don't have any on you, do you?
I don't.
Okay. Because I was going to give you the 20 right now.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Joe Greeley and I are going to be there, just for the record.
Oh, Joe, yeah. Joe's been there.
Norwood is a town who supports their own, and on Saturday, October 21st, you can help support Doug Tyree, a familiar face to many who have had their bike repaired at the Norwood Bike Depot, by joining in a game of pickleball. Mike Regan explains how to sign up and what you can do to donate.
Hey everybody, Mike Regan here. I am the pickleball instructor for the town of Norwood, the rec department. Just here today to tell you about an exciting event that we have coming up on October 21st. We're doing our very first fundraiser for a local business owner by the name of Doug Tyree. You guys probably know Doug through the Norwood Bike Depot. He's been here for years. He's sick and he needs our help. So we're asking that you all come out on the 21st of October and play a little pickleball. And even if you cannot play, if you for whatever reason you do not want to sign up in the tournament, please come and show up, show your support. You can make a donation through the Town of Norwood Rec Department. Has a flyer that's posted. You can sign up through the Town of Norwood. It's free to sign up, and we do ask that you make the donation through the GoFundMe account that I set up. So it will be the format of the pickleball tournament will be shootout. It's going to be very relaxed, very informal, but you will be assigned a partner, at least 4 partners, 4 games, probably 5 to 6 games. We'll have 3 courts set up here, and we'll have another court set up behind me. So there should be no waiting at all. We have the courts from 9 to 3 p.m. Probably won't need that much time, but what you can expect is to play at least 4 to 6 games with your donation and your registration. It will be a shootout format, so that means the total points will be accumulated. End of your game, you go over to tell the scorekeeper what your score was. For example, if you won the game, that would be 11. Each partner would have 11 points. You tell the scorekeeper, and the team that you played against may have had 6. You report that to the scorekeeper, and each game you report your total points. At the end, the people with the most points will advance into the finals. We'll have medals awarded, and we're going to hopefully have a few tables with some food, some water. We will provide paddles as well and balls, so you won't need to bring any equipment. Okay, so please come out and do what you can. Try to support Doug because he does need our help, and I know Norwood is a community that always rallies behind people that need help. Thank you.
Last week, members of the local 1631 Firefighters Union presented Burn, a film by Elijah Yetter Bowman highlighting decades of firefighter cancer. Members of the community were invited to watch the film, and a Q&A session followed the presentation.
You know, every single one of us, and probably your families, and I do see some of the families here, when your loved one, when your friend, when your brother became a firefighter, I can guarantee you that at some point early in their career, they had a conversation with the leader, and they told them that, you know, cancer is something that we deal with in this job. It's a negative. It's one of the negatives of a really fulfilling job. And I will tell you that a little bit of my story gets told in the film. It's why I got involved. I lost a couple friends. But my story is not unique. You know, the cancer that we suffered in Fall River, it's happening in Norwood, it's happening in New Bedford, it's happening in Holyoke, it's happening all across the country. So what's the, I guess what's the surprise? How did we get here? I think the fire department that I knew growing up, my grandfather was on for 38 years in Fall River. I knew cancer was there, and we watched some of the older gentlemen have a shortened career, a shortened retirement, sometimes a shortened career. My grandfather died at 75, occupational cancer. I gotta be honest with you, I don't think he would have changed anything. He got to do a lot of good things, raised a family, retired, with dignity, had a good dozen years retired, but it shortened his life.
If you're interested in the full presentation, it will be rebroadcast on the NCM Community Channel and is available on demand. When Norwood News returns, Ron Marshalsea updates us on 2 fall sports teams that are climbing the power rankings.
Did you know Norwood Community Media has a weekly newsletter? If you are interested in signing up, all you have to do is go to our website, norwoodcommunitymedia.org. Once you're there, scroll to the bottom of the page and click on the Sign Up for Our Newsletter button. All you have to do after that is fill out your first and last name, your email, as well as your zip code. Once you press send at the end of each week, you will have our newsletter in your inbox, ready for you to catch up on all things Norwood.
Removed from the Town Hall Carillon in August of 2022, the number 7 fire bell awaits its new home on Washington Street. Local historians, Lieutenant Mike Chisholm of the Norwood Fire Department and John Grove, share the history of the bell and where it came from.
So the bell that was pulled out of the town hall was the Washington 7 bell. Originally the town of Norwood was South Dedham. We had 2 original fire companies. In 1833 it was Washington number 7, and the bell you see us standing in front of here is American number 10. That was formed in 1834. Through the CPC and help of John here, we were able to pull the original bell of Washington 7 out of the town hall, which was placed there when the town hall was built in 1928. Originally used to notify the companies that there was a fire in town. Once we moved to the OCC fire station, that bell was left in the old town hall and then moved to the current town hall and basically mothballed. The bell is significant to the fire department, obviously, because it's the original fire company that existed in the town of Norwood. It was also well known by the historian Win Everett. When the town of Norwood was trying to break free and become their own town, they used to ring the bell on the 4th of July to celebrate our victory over the British. And the town of Dedham told us we can't do that anymore. And in the fire department fashion, they decided, well, we're going to do it anyways. And that was kind of the match that lit the powder keg to lead the town of Norwood to leave Dedham and become our own town in 1872.
So these 2 fire bells, this one here and the one that we did take out of the Town Hall Carillon last summer, were foundered at the Holbrook Foundry in what back then, 1845, 1847, that was located in what was called East Medway. Today, East Medway is the town of Millis. So both bells have a historical start in Massachusetts. They're about the same age, maybe a couple of years difference. We're not sure why in 1928 they decided to take the number 7 bell and hang it in the carillon. It was never a part of the carillon. It was not meant to be played as a musical instrument. It was solely founded as a fire bell. We applied to the Community Preservation Committee to get that bell out at the same time they were doing some restoration of the carillon bells. August 4th, 2022, Pretty big day. We had a crane out. We lifted the bell out through the top of the tower, lowered it back to a flatbed truck. The DPW has it now in storage at Lyman Place. We've just applied for funding to do two things. Find a mounting for that bell, which is in storage at Lyman Place, display it in Norwood, and at the same time do some cleanup work on this existing bell. The proposed site for mounting the bell we've taken out of the tower is on Washington Street, diagonally across from where Washington No. 7 Fire Station had once stood. Approximately where the St. Catherine's Social Hall is now is where Washington No. 7 stood. We're proposing to put the bell over on the sidewalk side, kind of between Cappy's Coin Shop and the Town Hall in that strip of sidewalk. From that vantage point too, we're going to have historic signage because that's kind of a good place to look at 3 or 4 historical sites. Of course, the bell will be there. You can reference the old lockup, which is just across the parking lot from where we're mounting the bell. And then the other 1907 fire station, which today is the old Colonial, what we call it. And so there's 3 or 4 points of historic interest in Norwood Center that we can put signage up about that bell. And we're also going to put a more historical signage and information about this bell. So that's what the proposal is going to be for that's coming up in front of the committee in late November, mid-November.
Now let's toss it over to Lucy Scafati for the latest in school news.
I'm Lucy Scafati, and let's take a look at some activities happening in Norwood schools this week. The Norwood High School Student of the Month Committee receives nominations and selects the 4A's Student of the Month awards. These seniors are involved in the 4A's and are positive role models for other students. Students of the Month for September are Heather Begg and Jordan Robinson. Congratulations! At the Coakley Middle School, they are excited to announce the first ever Grade 6 Halloween dance sponsored by the Coakley PTO. It will be held on Friday, October 27th from 3:30 to 5:30 in the Coakley Gym and Cafeteria, and the cost is $3. They are looking for new or gently used Halloween decorations and parent donations for snacks. Volunteers are also needed to help hand out the snacks. The sign-up information is available in the latest Mustang Minute newsletter, which can be found on the website. This event is for 6th grade only, and more events will be announced for all grade levels. At the Callahan School, here are more examples of their student engagement celebrations. The concept of student engagement is based on that learning improves when students are curious, interested, or inspired. Students at the Cleveland School focused on friendships and strategies to be a good friend at the grade level assemblies presented by Shine Bright Workshop. Also at the Cleveland School, families had the opportunity last week to meet teachers, tour the school, participate in a scavenger hunt, and take home some delicious baked goods at their annual open house. The Prescott School also had a successful back-to-school night in September. The school halls were busy with families visiting classrooms and touring the school. Teachers gave the same presentation at 2 different times to share with families classroom expectations, daily routines, curriculum scope, and sequence. Families had the chance to visit the art room and create a mindful meditation coloring page. The PTO set up a fall-themed book fair that was spectacular. Students visited the book fair during the day at school and had the chance to visit at night and pick out a selection of new reading materials. The PTO also sponsored a snow cone truck that had a line of hungry children at all times. It was a fantastic night that brought together the staff at the Prescott with families in the community. Little Mustang Preschool Academy had a special visitor last week. Preschoolers had the pleasure of meeting Mustang Sally, Norwood Police Department's first therapy dog. Mustang Sally was accompanied by Officer Baguma, who introduced her to students. Officer Baguma walked with Mustang Sally around the room so all students could pet her soft fur and say hi. Sally was excited to meet all the kids and perform a few tricks for them. A couple of students got a chance to work with Sally and reward her with some yummy treats. Officer Baguma said Mustang Sally really enjoyed her visit at the LMPA and she cannot wait to come back again soon. Well, that's it for school news. The students are always learning, and thanks to all the educators who share their school news with us. Now, let's...
I'm Ron Marshalsea, and this is your Sports Update. The football team, now sitting at number 4 in the MIAA Power Rankings, is at number 13 ranked Ashland on October 13th, kickoff at 6 o'clock. The number 2 ranked field hockey team still only has one loss and is now 11-1 with a 3-0 win over Dover Sherborne, where Ava O'Neill got her 7th shutout of the season, and a 5-1 win over Medway. Honestly, I'm running out of ways to say how good this team is. Shay Larkey scored 6 goals in the last 2 games and added an assist in the Medway game. Lindsey Rogers also scored in the 5-1 victory. The Mustangs will be at Holliston at 5:15 on the 13th. The girls soccer team went to Dover Sherborne Tuesday the 10th but did not get the win. They'll be at home for their next 2 matchups, facing Medway the 12th at 4 and Holliston the 17th also at 4. The boys soccer team hosted Dover Sherborne on Tuesday afternoon and managed to get a score, but not enough to get the win. They'll also be going against Medway on the 12th at 4 and Holliston on the 17th at 6:30, but the Mustangs will be away for both matches. Both cross-country teams ran against Medfield this week, but neither came out with a win. The teams will be at Dedham on the 18th at 3:45. The girls volleyball team went to Medway last Friday and got the win 3-2. Captain Colleen Brady pushed 6 points at the service line to win in the 5th set. Fellow captains Natalie Gale and Molly Federico also played a part in leading the Mustangs to the win. The team also played Holliston Wednesday afternoon but did not get the win. Kim Leah and Olivia Loud both stepped up and played well for Norwood. The team will be at home against Hopkinton on the 13th at 5:15. And the golf team had 2 very close losses to Holliston and Westwood on Thursday the 5th and Tuesday the 10th, respectively. But the state tournament-bound Mustangs did not stay out of the win column for very long as they beat Dedham in the annual Deadwood Cup 237-250. This annual event gives a chance for the golfers of each team to have some fun, getting to switch up their uniforms as well as having caddies for the day. The Mustangs now sit at 10-4 with 2 more matches left. Home against Dover Sherborne the 12th at 3:30 and at Medway the 16th also at 3:30. And that is all I have for this sports update. I'm Ron Marshalsea. And Norwood News will be right back after this break.
The Board of Selectmen met on Tuesday and were joined by the Airport Commission, where Mark Ryan discussed runway safety. Norwood Airport will add 300 feet of pavement to both sides of the runway in the event of an overrun or short landing. They emphasized that the safety area already exists at the Norwood Airport, but is grass and is unable to be plowed during the winter.
Right, back in 2000 when they reconstructed 1735, they constructed a safety area at the end of each end of the runway, 1735, and it's 300 feet long, 100 feet wide, the same as the runway, but it's grass. And a lot of the year it's not available because we don't plow grass. So that was our number one priority back in 2019 when we started the master plan update, that we wanted to make that usable in the event there's a an overrun on the runway or a short landing, that safety area would become available. In the winter, it's not available. We just don't plow turf. So this would pave 300 feet on each end to make that available in the event that there's an overrun or a short
So
landing.
if we have
This question that safety area exists now, it's not used all the time because, like you said, in the winter, it's not plowed. So this is really just, in and of itself, making it a safer runway.
Correct.
It's not allowing for larger planes.
No.
Okay.
The next Board of Selectmen meeting will be Tuesday, October 24th. The Community Preservation Committee met on Wednesday to review and discuss the eligibility of the 2023 and 2024 Community Preservation Act pre-applications. As part of the process, they raised questions that CPC would like to see answered in the full applications. The questions have been sent back to the applicants. The next CPC meeting will be on Wednesday, November 8th. The school committee met Wednesday night at the Savage Center, where the committee discussed and approved the FY25 budget timeline unanimously. The committee also began the process of searching for a new superintendent. Kate Sibbing-Dunn and David Hiltz will be the representatives from the school committee on the subcommittee, and Chair Mazzola appointed Paul Riccardi and Maya Bodenhofer to be on the subcommittee as well. The committee's next meeting will take place on October 25th at 7 p.m. The Friends of the Boston Harbor Islands funded a project to put together a book about 19th century women who kept journals while escaping their day-to-day lives. Volunteer for the Boston Harbor Islands and member of the Norwood Trails Advisory Committee, Marguerite Krupp, held a presentation about the book and journals this past Tuesday night.
This is the story of 4 women from Lowell who went to Great Brewster Island in Boston Harbor, which is about 9 miles out from Boston, in 1891. And they spent 17 days in a borrowed cottage out there that belonged to one of the women's uncles. And they had a wonderful time because they were escaping from their day-to-day roles, from their general responsibilities. And to emphasize that, they each took on a different name, different identity, and never referred to one another by their real names. They kept a journal. And the genesis of this whole project was that a Harvard professor found this journal up on the North Shore, and then it went into the Schlesinger Library at Harvard. And then the woman who started this project discovered it there and eventually organized a group of about 10 of us to get together and turn it into a book. Now, not just the journal, which of course had to be translated from the handwriting, but also things about the women, things about the world they lived in, things about how they took the pictures and their photographs, how they painted the pictures. You get the feeling of, in reading the book, in reading the journal particularly, how much this piece came over them. A whole list of places where you can buy the book. It's on Amazon. It's called Boston Harbor Islands Adventure, the Great Brewster Journal of 1891. The author listed on the cover is Stephanie Chaureau. She's the one who got everybody together. Many of us knew each other, but there were a lot of people I didn't know until then. So it was quite an adventure. It was a detective story. Nobody got murdered. But it was a good detective story because we were trying to find out so many bits and pieces, and then we shared them all over Google Drive. So we were able to use the 21st century technology to investigate a 19th century adventure.
Earlier this week, as part of their ongoing series, This Day in History, the Norwood Historical Society posted on Facebook an October 11, 2011 article written by Brad Cole describing the new state of the art television studio at the new Norwood High School. The studio, control room, and head end were outfitted with $500,000 of equipment, giving students access to some of the best technology available at the time. The Norwood Historical Society is very active on social media and their website, sharing all types of interesting facts about Norwood. To learn more about the Norwood Historical Society, visit their website at norwoodhistoricalsociety.org and follow them on social media. Well, that's all for Norwood News. To stay up to date with Norwood Community Media, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We're going to leave you with a list of upcoming events happening in Norwood during the month of October. As always, thank you so much for watching. Have a great weekend.